Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning back in. Glad you made it. We have an interesting topic to talk about today, and that's going to be over authority. Guys, look, authority is one of those traits that has developed, yet distinctively carried by men. And I do not care about what women have to say who disagree with me on this topic. And listen, boys and girl, I've seen the stats. You shouldn't either, and here's why. Think about this. Women have always been at the mercy of men. They've always been carried by the shoulders of men. And so they've always relied on men for just about everything. Think about this too. If men were to stop working and doing what they're doing now, providing lumber, keeping our streets safe through law enforcement, protecting our borders through the military, what do you think would happen? I'll tell you what'll happen. Nations would crumble. They would collapse within the day. And it's not to say that women are less than. It's that women are not taking these hard jobs, despite making 51% of the workforce. But listen, that's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always been. Since the dawn of our history, men have always taken the initiative, who have always set direction for society, for the families, especially when shit hits the fan. And when shit does hit the fan, what do you see happening? When the floods rise, when the fires burn, we always see the men stepping up. That's not going to be all men, but the men who are stepping up, the women are looking for too. So when tragedies begin to happen, the men are the ones that step up and handle business, and the women are the ones that are behind them, supporting them. It's the way how it always works out. Why? Because it's reality. That's why. And a lot of women today, and a lot of men too, a lot of male feminists would keep their heads buried in the dirt and believe in this fantasy that girl bosses and, girls can do it too. There's a bunch of bullshit. That's not the case at all. I've never seen that happen. This is why having women on the front lines is so dangerous. You see, it's instinctive for men to help women out. Think about it. When you hear a woman scream, why is it that you always look and go and check it out? It's instinctive, man. So when you have authority, respect comes with it. That's how you know you have authority. When people submit to you, now naturally there's going to be a hierarchy, but when people naturally submit to you in whatever you say, that's how you know you have authority. When you're stepping up at work and you're leading those group projects, you're setting up times, you're setting up places, you're setting up roles for people to perform. People just naturally fall in line. It's because you have that authority and the leadership that you're performing, that they're following what you say, and they're giving you that respect that you are leading the cause. And that doesn't just translate to tragedies, to work. This is why every man has to have authority, because a man that does not have authority in his home is a man that's not respected. Listen, the most important aspect of having authority is in the home. If you do not have authority over your family, you're in for a roll to hurt, man. You really are. And when I was talking about respect, I'm telling you, that's how you know. If she's berating you for anything, it could be that you're not making enough money, that you didn't get that promotion. It could be that your hobbies are stupid to her, childish even. It could be anything. And listen, boys, the point is that it's not what you did or didn't do. It's that you're not seen as a man in her eyes. How can she? Order comes from authority. If you don't have order in your household and you don't have authority and no one's respecting your boundaries, no one's respecting your laws, your rules, it's only a matter of time before the family falls apart. But listen, we live in a dual income society because of the economic crisis that we're in. I'm sure that most men would love to be the breadwinners, love to make enough to be able to support a whole family. And women would love to stay home and be the homemakers, right? And take care of the dishes, the laundry, the cleaning of the house. But it's just not how things are working out today, unfortunately. So, both as men and women, we have to compromise, right? And work out, those chores and work too. That's why a lot of women today are going for these high status men that can provide for a whole family, and she stays at home. It's what's really killing the birth rate. It's what's really killing marriage. I mean, it's a part of the puzzle that's killing marriage anyways, but there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. right, when it comes to birth rate and marriage, but specifically here talking about authority. And when you don't have authority, it will lead to divorce. I'm telling you this right now. Men, listen, your woman has to respect your authority. Has to. If she doesn't, it's only a matter of time before she finds another man that she does respect, or she outright just leaves you. And there might be some cheating in between there. You never know. So always be careful, man, in what you're doing. That being said, listen, authority can always be abused. We see this a lot. Bosses who want you to come in on your only day off for the week. Men who manipulate and abuse their women, their children. Politicians who abuse their power to make policies that inadvertently affect families or individual men. We see this a lot with these family courts. The bias against men is so rampant and it's so obvious. And you lose respect that way too. Obviously, you're going to lose respect. Authority is something that is distinctively carried by men. Now, we have women these days that are stepping up and declaring authority. Throughout history, we have seen some women who have had authority. Queens, we think of the queens of Russia, the queens of England, Egypt. However, it's not the majority of the case. Women are just as capable of abusing authority as men are, if not more so. Oftentimes, we don't talk about abuse as it relates to domestic violence against men. And that's a real shame that we don't talk about. How many men do you know that are abused either physically or psychologically? That happens way more often than women getting abused. Now, look, this isn't a competition. It's not to say that men have it worse or women have it worse. This is to say that authority can be abused just as much as, anybody can abuse it, right? Either man or woman. But the thing too is that if you have given over authority to someone who is toxic, obviously they're going to abuse it. And we see that to be the case. Way too many women today who are okay with abusing the men that they're with. And unfortunately, we see that a lot more than we do with men abusing their women. And ladies, that is the case. So many men have been made to believe that they are the problem because they want sex. We see this way too often where men get into marriage and they've given over their authority. And as soon as they did, they still want that intimacy because they need the intimacy, but they're denied it in whatever way. And then women take that authority and abuse it through the manipulation of sex. And listen, sex is always the bottom line. Whether men are abusing their authority and using women for sex, or women are abusing it to manipulate men, maybe it's something that they want done or something to maintain the relationship. It's always the bottom line. Sex is always the bottom line. Listen, guys, we're animals. We will abuse whatever means we can to get what we want some of the time. And so you have to be very, very careful with authority. You have to be. You cannot give it away. You cannot abuse it. That's why I always push you guys to self-improve, to work on yourself. All the more today, it's so easy to abuse that authority, that respect, and to hand it over, because obviously you don't want to lose the person that you're with because you have that low of a self-esteem, and you reap the consequences of that. The people who abuse you, that's not your fault, not at all. But you also have to recognize that when you give your authority away, that will happen, either man or woman. Work on that authority. Don't hand it over, especially for my men, dude. Listen, guys, do not hand your authority over to anybody. You're the only one that needs to have that authority. Everything relies on you. Everything. Like I was saying earlier, nations are built off of the shoulders of men. Always. And the same thing for families. Legacies are started through men, right? We're the ones that cold approach women. We're the ones that approach women and overall. So recognize that we're the ones that have that authority. So, and we have to maintain that and keep that up. Those men with authority are viewed in a specific way, whether it's women, other men, society in general. Those men who have authority are typically the ones that stand at the top and are the ones that get the most respect. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching. You guys have done a phenomenal job at engaging and really just growing this community. I want to see where this goes, guys. I want to reach so many people out there, especially men. There's a lot of men out there that have no idea this message exists. Share this with who all you can. It would mean so much to me. I'm blown away at what you guys are doing. Sure, I'm the one that's talking up here, but you guys are the one that's doing all the hard work. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. If you guys happen to have anything on your minds, please let me know. I want to hear what you guys are saying. I read the comments. I respond to the comments. Also, guys, take care of yourselves, okay? Both up here and physically. Also, take care of each other, all right? There's not enough community out there for men today. And so we all have to come together and lift each other up. It's the whole point of this channel. Appreciate you guys. You guys take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And I'll talk to you soon.